they talking real loud. Spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me fine. Please put a 1 in the chat if the audio is fine, if you can hear me. Okay, please let me know. Please let me know. And if you missed any of the posts that I did earlier from court, please go back and watch. Okay. All right. So you all can hear. Okay, great. Okay. So now, as you all know, I was giving you all the latest from the end of the testimony for today. Okay. So they finally finished up with Jane Doe and they ran me out of there. Y'all heard the guy saying they're about to close up the barricade. So I had to dash out of there. And I told you that I would bring you the rest of the information when I got home. So here I am. We've got to talk about this beating that Diddy put on this woman. Diddy is the devil himself. Okay. I don't know why people continue to try to, make excuses for this man's nefariousness and say that, oh, he's not doing what they said he did. I mean, this man is crazy, if you ask me. Treats people like garbage. Okay. But anyway, so let's talk about it. Now, that all being said, where I left off was I basically was telling you all about some of these recordings, okay? And I was telling you how 3 days after Cassie Ventura's lawsuit was filed, Jane Doe texted Diddy and basically said, I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma. It just makes me sick how 3 solid pages, word for word, are exactly my own experiences, my own anguish, my own pain and trauma, okay? And then we all heard the recordings of 2 phone calls between her and Diddy from shortly after the suit was filed. So we're going to get into it. But first, let's see who all is in here. Okay. All right. Claudette, Jeff ATL is in the house. Jonah is here with the people. Gwendolyn. All right. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into Queen. Y'all know I love me some you. Everybody be sure to hit that like button. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to double check and make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you have not been receiving your notifications. Okay, so before we get into it, let's have a brief word from our sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's finish up these receipts because I find, hey, DJ Big Six, well, each of us in the house. Okay, I just find it all so egregious. All right, Diddy should be ashamed of himself. But, of course, he isn't. Hey, Ursula, beloved. Okay, so like I said, I was telling you all how she was comparing Cassie's story, everything that was in Cassie's lawsuit, to her own pain and trauma. And then we heard those recordings, where Diddy and her were talking. And in the first call, Jane Doe's voice was breaking, and she was telling him, I was just saying all of this. I was basically just telling you the same stuff myself. And then in the second call, Diddy tells her, I need your friendship. Okay. You ain't got to worry about nothing else. Ha! Just trying to get in good, right? Trying to be so manipulative still. Now, mind you, when she was asked by Maureen Comey, the lead prosecutor, to explain how she interpreted what Diddy said to her, she took it as a reference to him continuing to pay the rent on her home when he said, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Okay. She said she didn't know. She did not know that either of the calls were being recorded, of course. So in the weeks after, Jane Doe continued to text Diddy about her trauma and pain surrounding those hotel nights, or sex nights, debauchery, as they often called it. And she told Diddy that she had turned down work opportunities and other relationships just to cater to his fetishes. She testified that after Diddy suggested in a FaceTime conversation that she just charge him for her resentment. Charge me. Go ahead, charge me. Charge me for your resentment. That's what he said, trying to be, sarcastic. She suggested a price, causing the exchange to devolve into Diddy calling her a con artist and then threatening to call the law, honey. He said, you want me to call the police? Yeah, that's what I do. I'm going to call the police on your ass. You're a con artist and opportunist. I mean, isn't that amazing? Like literally the pot talking about the kettle, okay? Talking about calling the cops after all of the nefarious things that he's done, all the crimes that he's allegedly committed. Okay, so anyway, at the height of the argument, she testified that Diddy threatened her over the phone to show these sexually explicit videos of her to the father of her child. Doing the same thing he did with Cassie, threatening to take the stuff up to Cassie's mom's or her parents' jobs and get them fired, threatening to send it to her parents. See, this is what he would do. He would record all of these things, and he was very calculated. When you really think about it, Diddy is so nefarious because he would sit there and have these women calling the S workers, setting the things up, even going so far as to let them choose which one of the S workers they wanted to sleep with sometimes, letting them build a rapport with these men, and then even setting up the travel arrangements and all of that. Okay, so then later he can come back and say, well, no, you did this yourself. This wasn't me. This was all you. Okay, remember how he told Jane Doe, you even bought me a camera for me to record it so we could both watch what we were doing. Just running game and painting a whole narrative. Okay, and then, after he made those threats about showing the explicit videos to the father of her child, she basically didn't speak to him for quite some time. But just over a month after that big blow up, then he started sending her affectionate messages. And so she eventually agreed to visit him in Florida for her birthday. Okay, that's where she messed up. She kept going back. I don't know how Diddy was able to do it. Maybe it was his money. I don't know. But at the end of the day, these women would constantly go back no matter how bad he treated them or how much he dogged them out. So anyway, there was a celebration at his home. He had candles, balloons, gifts, a 5-course dinner. Okay, the kind of birthday that she always wanted, according to her. Because remember, when she saw this video of another woman he was dealing with posted online, and he was taking her out of town and having a fancy dinner for her with the chef cooking and all of this stuff, that's what she wanted. And she envied that. So he knew how to play her. Okay, now since I want her to do what I want, I'm going to go ahead and give her what she's been asking for. So then after having this dinner and he's love bombing her, they took some ecstasy. And then, of course, they had sex. Okay. And then she said, as it became morning, Diddy asked her, do you want to see Dawn? Now, who is Dawn? One of the S workers that they often hired for these hotel nights. Everything, always, no matter what it was that he did for her or with her, it always ended up going right back to the same old same. And that is the hotel nights. Okay? How many times do you have to get bitten by a snake or burned by a fire or flame to realize that this is dangerous, that this is not good for you? I just don't understand why she kept going back. Okay. Dickie said these women wanted money, bottom line, free Diddy. Well, you know, they may have wanted money. These women may have wanted money, but at the bottom line, I don't think Diddy needs to be free. Okay. Because this isn't all that Diddy has done. This isn't all that he's done. This is just, you know, a portion of it. So anyway, she told him, you know, she was basically like, okay, you know, he wanted her to have this rendezvous with Dawn so he can sit there and get his rocks off. She said, okay. Now, when she was asked by the prosecutor why she agreed, she basically said that she was so used to the outcome that she just accepted it, as if she couldn't say no. Okay, it just couldn't be me. I just think this is all crazy. And here's the thing. Diddy went upside this woman's head because he got upset because she called him a PDF file. Okay? She called him a PDF file. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Yeah, and I think that the main reason they wanted to have this part of the testimony come out is because, hold on, Dr. Doom says, if you beef with Diddy, he'll turn your baby mama into an S-slave. Nasty work, LOL. Okay, Dickie says, I'm sick of these grown women that had a choice, leave, get a better boss and a decent job. No one was forced. Free Diddy. All right, you're entitled to your opinion, beloved. Okay, Jeff ATL said, well, did Jane Doe lie? No, she didn't lie. I didn't see anything that she lied about, in my opinion. But anyway, let's talk about him choking her and dragging her. Okay, let's get into it. Because I'm sorry, I don't know why anybody thinks Diddy needs to be freed after he's choked and dragged this poor woman. Okay, whether she chose to deal with him and be with him or not. So anyway, she basically testified that she pleaded with him to stop pressuring her into these S acts with these male escorts. And then she was so shocked when she found out about Cassie Ventura's bombshell lawsuit. Now, she had been dating Diddy since 2021 to 2024. Okay, and these were years filled with what she calls coerced sex acts with escorts. Now, she initially said she thought the couple would just have a one-night escapade with an S worker, but it allegedly turned into frequent hotel nights where Diddy pushed her into having sex with several men consecutively, lasting as long as 3.5 days. Honey, I don't know how anybody could do it. Okay, they must be some darn Energizer rabbits. Okay, so she said, I don't want to be used and locked in a room to fulfill your fantasies. This is a message that she sent to him while they were dating, which was shown in court. Okay, I'm not your corn star with a P. I'm not an animal. She also said that she fainted. Like I told you guys earlier, she literally fainted when she found out about Cassie's lawsuit in November of 2023, and the allegations of the trafficking and the sexually assault and the physical abuse. Okay, she said that she felt like, I'm just reading my own sexual trauma. Now just imagine, because you know, until this point, Diddy had never been violent with her, so she probably had never seen that side of him. She'd seen him get upset, irritated, or agitated, but never had any violence inflicted upon her. So she was quite frankly shocked when she saw that video, I'm sure. So anyway, it's just all crazy. Now, on September the 9th of 2024, she said Diddy asked her to send explicit videos, and he expressed his desire for her to join him in New York. But of course, she didn't get to do that because guess what? He got arrested. Okay, this was on September the 9th, and then he got arrested September the 16th, remember? So, of course, she was subpoenaed to testify for a grand jury in September, and she hadn't spoken to law enforcement about any of it. Now, the first time she told anyone about him attacking her in June of 2024 was in a meeting with his own defense team. Okay, before she spoke to the prosecutors, before she spoke to anyone else, she literally told his attorneys how he had beaten her in April of 2020. I'm sorry, beaten her in June of 2024. And this was just in April, okay, just a couple of months ago. So in late 2024, she got an attorney in connection with the criminal investigation, okay, after HSI agents visited her home. Now, Diddy, of course, was paying for her legal fees and is still currently paying for her representation along with her rent. Okay, and she says she has no plan to sue him. Well, I guess she doesn't have a reason to sue him if he's paying her rent still and paying for her attorney's fees, which I'm confused. I wonder why he's still doing that. Okay. So, but anyway, as for how she feels about him now, when the prosecution asked her, how do you feel about him? She said, I pray for his continued healing and I pray for peace for him. So, you know, they're going to start the cross-examination tomorrow. But let's talk about the beating that he put upon her, because he choked and kicked her months before his arrest. So as the day started coming to a close, for the first time, Jane detailed an alleged violent incident with Diddy that left her with visible injuries. She described being choked, punched, kicked, and dragged by her hair. Okay, acts of violence that basically resemble the way he assaulted Cassie Ventura in the Intercontinental Hotel in 2016. Now, on June the 18th of 2024, she says that she and Diddy got into a heated argument during a date night at his home. She accused him of being with another woman during the Utah vacation with his family that he just returned from. So she says she was bottling up a lot of anger and resentment towards him, and she told him, you're a PDF file. Okay. She noted this because she believed the woman was over 18, but 25 to 27 years younger than him. Okay. She basically shoved his head. Now I want you all to pay attention. She put hands on Diddy. She allegedly, well, not allegedly, because she says this is what she did. She says she shoved his head into a marble counter when he bent over to tie his shoe. Okay, I want y'all to picture it. Diddy bends over to tie his shoelaces and she shoves his head into a marble counter. And then she starts throwing candles and glass at him, saying, I hate you, I hate you. She's yelling. Okay, now when she sensed things would escalate, she then ran and locked herself in the bedroom. But Diddy didn't give a damn about her locking herself in the bedroom, because you know what he did? Well, I'm so glad you asked. He kicked open the door. Okay, he kicked open several doors, in fact. And as she tried to flee the house, she says he picked her up in a chokehold, and she said she couldn't breathe. I was on my tippy toes. So he had her jacked up clearly. She fled for about 6 blocks. Okay, she fled 6 blocks away and then hid for 2 hours. All right. When she returned home, Diddy continued the attack. Now, she said that she punched him in his forehead. All right. And then Diddy turned around and, of course, he punched her right back in her head twice. Okay. She had the ball up on the ground trying to cover her head to protect herself. And he just started punching and kicking her. Now, she told the court that he then grabbed her hair and started to drag her, just like we saw him do Cassie in the hotel video. Later, she said she showered. He started smacking her in the face, and then instructed her to put some ice on her injuries and put on an outfit, basically meaning the high heels and the lingerie, because now to whip your butt, I done showed you who's the boss. You don't put your hands on me. You don't even try it. Okay. Reggie said what we call hemmed up. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, beloved. Okay, it's exactly what it was. So anyway, he basically told her, now you done got your ace beat. That's not what he said. That's what I'm saying. But then he told her to go get dressed, to put something on. Okay, go put on an outfit and put some ice on those bruises and the welts and knots beside your head, because we got a hotel night to get ready for. Isn't that something? I mean, it's all so crazy. So after the alleged violent altercation, she says that Diddy saw that she'd been texting an adult entertainer that she called Anton. So he suspected that she and Anton had been having relations behind his back. And then he starts yelling at her. Okay, did you cheat on me? The nerve. After all these women he's been messing around with, did you cheat on me? So in the bathroom, she testified, while crying, that he got an inch from her face. He was right up in her grill, okay, all up in her face and instructed her to take some ecstasy and perform some acts on Anton. Since you want to call him, okay, here you go, pop this pill and you get in there and do what I'm telling you. Okay, that's his attitude. So she said she didn't want to. She kept saying, I don't want to do this. And she says that Diddy basically said, is this coercion? Now, I want you all to pay attention for those people that keep saying, oh, he wasn't doing coercion, extortion, whatever. He literally knew what he was doing, because when he's telling her to do it and telling her to take the pill and get to business and drop to those knees and get to work on Anton, and she says, I don't want to. And then he asked her, is this coercion? Because he knows that's exactly what it is, okay? She said, it just felt like forever. I just felt sick, like I wasn't in my own body. I felt disgusted. I felt terrible. Now, despite all of this, she said she saw Diddy a couple of days later, and they both expressed contrition. Okay, like now they're sorry all over again. Now, he allegedly told her that she broke his trust and they would be breaking up, but they were still going to be best friends. So in a video that they showed in court, she had a bruised eye and welts on her forehead that were visibly, that obviously could be seen. And here's the thing. Diddy had called somebody. He called one of the S workers. Hold on. He called one of these S workers, right? And on FaceTime. Now, while he's talking to them, he actually had the phone or the camera facing her rather than himself. Now, he didn't mean to do that. It was an accident. And now, mind you, she had these injuries that are visible. And even though she had put makeup like foundation and concealer over it, you could still see the bruises pretty good. So he's asking the guy, did you see anything? What did you see? Just all so crazy. Oh, so crazy. And then the time when he's sitting there telling her, asking her, is this coercion? He told her, he said, you're not going to ruin my effing night. Okay? You're not gonna ruin my effing night. And that's when he gave her the X pill, and she took it and told her she had to perform on Anton. So she said she felt so sick and disgusted. And afterwards, Anton asked about his money. Okay, he was asking about his cash. He wanted his coins. Diddy probably didn't want to pay him because he felt like her and the guy were doing something behind his back. So anyway, it was just all a whole hot mess. Now, they went to his residence. And he was acting like this woman, listen, he was acting like this woman wanted to be beaten up. Okay? He was talking about Sunday is a fun day. And then she's sitting there and she said it all felt so awkward. Now he gets on the FaceTime. The guy that he called on FaceTime was a guy named Jonathan. And then that's when he asked him, what did he see? Because he accidentally had the camera pointing towards her rather than himself. Okay. This is when she had the bruises and the welts and all of that. And he was concerned that the guy knew that he had beaten her behind. So anyway, she took videos of Diddy. Now here's the thing. She said she was taking videos of Diddy, but she says that she accidentally, at the same time she's taking videos of him, she accidentally documented her injuries, the bruising on her eyes, the visible bruising showing through the makeup, and the fact that, when they asked her, did you mean to document your injuries? And she said no. And then the prosecutor asked her, why did you hold your hand up like that when you first started recording? She said because she realized that she was showing her injuries. So she tried to cover them up. And when she's doing this video, she's like, hey, bestie. This is what she's calling Diddy. She's calling Diddy. Hey, she said, hey, bestie, and trying to cover her face due to the bruising. Okay, then she put her glasses back on because the bruises were so obviously visible. So the prosecution asked her why she was calling him her bestie. And she said because he'd just broken up with her. She was really being sarcastic because he broke up with her after he beat the crap out of her and then gave her the X and told her to do this stuff to Anton. And now he's saying we're going to still be best friends. How are we going to be best friends when you just beat the crap out of this woman and you're still coercing her into doing things that she's clearly told him she doesn't want to do? So anyway, she says that It was a very eerie day when that violent video of Cassie surfaced, and she lost her entire appetite when she found out about that. And that's when she realized that this man is not only somebody who is a person who will threaten you, who will try to coerce and intimidate you when you don't want to do what he wants, or he'll try to hold things over your head like money or your home or whatever. But this is when she realizes that he's absolutely violent. It's not just me. He's actually just a violent person. So, of course, his apology post was played in the court several times, like I told you guys. And she said that she and Diddy further discussed the incident around June or July of 2024. She claimed that he assured her that was the only time that he had been violent with Cassie in their relationship. That was the only time that he ever put hands on Cassie, was in that hotel video. And then he told her that Cassie was the one who started it. Now, mind you, this is before he beat the crap out of her. Okay. This is before he put the paws on her. But he's telling her Cassie was the one who started it. Cassie, she's a hitter. This is what he said. She's a hitter. Now, mind you, we didn't see Cassie hit him not one time in that darn video. Okay. We didn't see her hit him not one time. So anyway, like I said, when the Homeland Security investigators came to her house, they served a search warrant and raided Diddy's house in March the 25th of 2024. And then an official came to her house. She testified that she did not answer her door. She immediately called Diddy, but he didn't even answer. And then later, he allegedly hired a lawyer, but she recalled that she didn't employ him for very long. Okay, he hired different legal representatives for himself. She also read out her communications with Diddy from the end of 2023, in which she told him that I became a side chick and an S worker in my own relationship. Well, here's the thing. That wasn't a relationship. That's just what she thought it was. Because as far as Diddy was concerned, she was just somebody to have almost like a blow-up doll. Someone just to be used for sexual gratification. He didn't consider that a relationship with her, not a serious one anyway. That's why he never wanted to do anything with her or for her. He'd throw her a few dollars every now and then for her troubles, so she continued to do the hotel nights and do the freaky stuff that he wanted to see. But other than that, he had no desires of being serious with her. So she says that Diddy told her to stop making accusations, telling her, you sound like you're setting me up. That's what he told her. You sound like you're setting me up. And she testified that she never told anybody about what she and Diddy were doing privately. It was a shameful, dark secret that she had. She even went so far as begging Diddy. She was literally begging him to stop rugging women, okay, in a text message. On the stand, she said that she and Diddy were on a break between November of 2023 and February of 2024. Now, around that time, she texted him and said, please stop rugging these women and leave women alone who don't want to do those nights with you. Hire prostitutes and stop emotionally harming women who love you. And that's when the courts, that's when he basically came back saying, are you trying to set me up? You're crazy. Are you recording my calls? Knowing good and darn well he was the one recording hers. So she reiterated that she didn't want to have sex with any more strangers after Diddy mentioned that she had helped set up some of the escorts for the alleged freak-offs. And in response, she just clarified that she would text the ones that she was familiar with, which she called a protective instinct for herself. Because she said Diddy would sometimes make her have, do these things with men that she didn't know, she didn't like, she had no rapport with them. She didn't probably even know where some of these people came from. So there were some that she knew because she had been dealing with them before. So she would prefer to call them. And she recalled a particularly upsetting conflict that she had with Diddy around the same time that they took a break in their relationship. She accused him of exploiting her. Now, she alleged that Diddy told her to just charge me for your resentment, okay, meaning that she could come up with an amount of money and they could just make peace. So she suggested $100,000 per year. Now, for those of you who say that she wanted money, that's absolutely what she wanted. If you're asking this man, first of all, here's the thing. This is not even, now at this point, now this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. I am not going to victim shame or blame, But what I will say is this: we all have to take accountability for our own actions. We all have to take accountability for the roles that we play in our own demise sometimes. Because at the end of the day, people will do to you only what you allow them to do. If you allow disrespect, you will in fact be disrespected. If you demand respect, then that's what you will get. These women, Cassie and this woman, they did not make Diddy respect them. They did exactly the opposite. They gave him all the reason to disrespect them by adhering to his demands. They could have at any time said no. And then when he's telling her, basically name your price, she names the price. Let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, there's no amount of money that you could ever pay me to allow you to treat me the way he treated these women, making you sleep with all of these men, strangers, with no protection. Okay, even when you're tired, worn out, sore, whatever, hyped up on illegal substances, and you just haven't slept for days, you can't focus, you have brain fogs and confusion because you've been up for hours, over 24 hours in some cases. You could not pay me enough money. There is no price that I would quote you. But at the end of the day, some people are willing to just, belittle themselves, degrade themselves, humiliate themselves for money. She wanted $100,000 per year, and Diddy called her a liar and an opportunist and many other demeaning names. He called her bitches and all of that. And then she started tearing up on the stand as she read a message that she sent him during this intense exchange. She said, "I'm going to delete myself. You won't use me and break me. I just wanted everything to go black. I was just so overwhelmed with evil energy. This time was very, very evil and dark." Well, that was likely Diddy's demons manifesting. And let's not forget, for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, I've told you a myriad of times about soul ties. Okay, when you have intimate relationships with people and you're exchanging bodily fluids and things like that, yeah, absolutely, you can get soul ties. And Diddy, I'm so sure, has demonic energy. Okay, demons attached to him. Now, that's just my opinion. Now, while Diddy initially replied that he was there to support her, Jane Doe later said that he told her over the phone, I'm just going to show your child's father these tapes. How about that? Okay, you don't want to do what I want you to do. You want to talk crazy. You want to talk trash to me. You want to disrespect me. How about I just show your child's father these tapes? I have nothing to lose. Okay, that's what he said. But now, as you can see, he has everything to lose. So mind you, these tapes of me, she says, mind you, these tapes of me are heavily rugged and doing things that he asked of me. Okay, this is what she said in a text about the alleged threat to Christina Corum when she's telling her about it, saying that he's threatening to release these tapes and show them to my child's father, but at the end of the day, I'm on these illegal substances and I'm doing things that he's asked me to do, but now he wants to try to blackmail me. So at the end of the day, in 2024, now I want you all to pay attention, because if you remember back in 2024, Forbes magazine estimated that Diddy's net worth was $400 million, which was a significant drop from its 2019 figure of $740 million. Both Diddy and his team later claimed that he was a billionaire. Forbes says, despite offering no documentation to back up the claim. Okay, so maybe he was never a billionaire. Who knows? But according to publicly available documents and news reports, Diddy's most valuable personal possession is likely his 17,000 square foot, 10-bedroom mansion appraised at more than $61 million in the Tony Humble Hill section of Los Angeles. It was rated as part of a criminal probe and listed for sale last September. And so when he was saying at the time he had nothing to lose, yeah, he had a whole lot to lose. But he was just trying to tell her that to make her feel like, yeah, I can just drag you. I can humiliate you publicly. I can go tell your child's father what we've been doing. I can show him the proof of the receipts, how you've been sleeping with all these men, how you just been doing all these illegal substances. Okay. And at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do to me because I don't have anything to lose. That's the narrative that he was trying to present to her. Now, she testified about a conflict that she had with Diddy over a text in October of 2023 when she wrote that she didn't want to fulfill his sick fantasies, as she called them. Now, Diddy told her to call him and text her about 10 times when she didn't respond. That's one thing about Diddy. He's very, what's the word? I don't know. He's just like really, really ignorant to me because, there some of these women said that he would just constantly call them. Remember how Cassie said he was just blowing up her phone about 50 times or something like that when she wouldn't answer. Then he would get other people to call. Well, he's doing the same thing with her. He told her to call him and she refused to. And then he's texting her like 10 times when she didn't respond. And then subsequently, he sent her a screenshot of a conversation with his doctor saying that he might need surgery, which prompted her to speak with him again. See, that's what a narcissist does. That was him running game. If he needed surgery, I'm sure it was nothing serious. Let's not forget he had numerous surgeries on his knee. Okay, on his knee, because he had some sort of knee injury. And that's likely what the surgery was for. But he's sitting there telling her, oh, I need surgery. I need surgery. And now she's feeling all sad for him and feeling guilty. Okay. And then this is how he gets her to talk back to him. I'm telling you, this is a narcissist right here. Okay. So she said then she went to his Bel Air home and a concert where he was performing, and he allegedly insulted her with a demeaning term when he became impatient. Okay. Then a few days later, she texted him asking him to put something in her account. Please, could you put something in my account? No, she's asking for money. 2 days later, she wrote to him that he was making her feel crazy, like I got used. I feel violated and manipulated by you. They continued to argue over the text, with Combs telling her that neither of them had to do anything they didn't want to do. Okay? She said she took that as a threat, that he was basically saying he was going to stop paying her rent. She told him, stick to your word, like I stuck to this toxic relationship. She said she was shocked, about the way he was treating her and all the things he was doing. She said she couldn't sleep because she kept reading all these pages and it just felt like a nightmare, like she was reliving and reading her own story. So I'm just going to tell you all like this. Tyology Terry says karma for Biggie and Pac. Okay, I absolutely agree. This is absolutely his karma. Now, Hot Coco said these women gonna have years of therapy after dealing with the dealer. I agree. Okay, I agree. But the bottom line is they stuck around and allowed Diddy to do these things to them, in my opinion, because of Diddy, of his status. Okay, because he was an A-lister, a very well-known and powerful person in the music industry, because he had all of this money. Because if this was some Joe Schmo, some broke guy, somebody working an average 9 to 5, do you really think that Cassie or this woman would have allowed him to treat them this way? Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. So, Diddy, like I said, he was running game and just doing a whole lot of BS as far as I'm concerned. And here's the thing, that day when he beat her behind, now that was crazy. When she told the story, when Diddy was whipping up on her, she said Diddy was at one end of, he was like at one end of the sidewalk and he's coming towards her and he had to look like a monster, like just somebody so angry and scary, because she was literally scared. She said she ran and hid. Okay, she ran and hid for like 2 hours. Okay. Tyler just said, right, Queen, they would have changed states on a broke ninja. Exactly. You know what that would have been? If that was a broke ninja, they'd have gone and taken out a restraining order and said that he was stalking them. Okay, please pay attention. Jamal said it's called groupies. If that were just a regular broke guy or whatever, 9 to 5 working guy, they would have likely gone and pressed charges and said this guy was stalking them and demanded a restraining order. Okay? But because Diddy had all this money, they put up with his stuff for quite some time, in my opinion. Because you mean to tell me it took her 3 years to realize that Diddy meant her no good? It took her 3 years to realize that he's using her to sleep with all these different men? You have to ask yourself, what kind of mind frame are you in? What kind of state of mind are you in when you think that you have to do this just to appease somebody? Okay, whether you love the person or not. Why would you allow somebody to use you to that extent, to make you do things that are morally corrupt, things that you claim you didn't want to do, and then you feared that he was putting your safety in jeopardy because he didn't even want you using any sort of protection or whatever? Okay, you're ending up in the hospital, you're going to see doctors, your mental health is deteriorating, your spirit and soul feel broken. He's not giving you the love or anything that you're begging for. Okay, it's all crazy. Kay Wood said, damn, just wake up and take accountability. That's simple. Way too many excuses for adults. I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. These women do have to, in fact, take accountability for the role that they played in this, because everything was not, on Diddy. They allowed Diddy to treat them this way. And once they opened that door, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. However you meet a person or however you let a person treat you in the beginning of a relationship is usually how they treat you in the end. If you allow them to treat you like a piece of trash on the street, if you allow them to be sitting here pimping you out or making you do all these things that you don't want to do, what makes you think that later on down the line they're going to stop? You just opened up the door, just like she said yesterday or Friday, that she opened up Pandora's box and she couldn't close it. Exactly, because you showed him that you were willing to compromise your integrity, compromise your own beliefs and your own values just to appease him. So now that's what he expects. Nandy said it's conditioning. It absolutely can be. But and it's also probably a form of, some would say brainwashing. But here's the thing. Once you open yourself up to it, you allow yourself to further be manipulated. Okay? You allow yourself to further be manipulated. That's why, listen, no matter how much money somebody's giving you, no matter how many fancy gifts and trips they're taking you on, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Think about that scripture in the Bible. Okay, what it profit a man to sell his soul or whatever? You know the scripture I'm talking about. That's what it sounds like these women were doing. Okay? They were just basically selling their souls to Diddy. Please pay attention. And it's really sad. But the bottom line is, I have to ask myself, do they understand that they are the ones who allowed this to start? Diddy could never have done this had they just shut it down from the beginning. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Who do you think I am? You're not going to disrespect me. And had just gone off on him, then he probably would have found someone else. You know what I'm saying? The scripture, Mark 8:36, I think it is. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Doesn't that sound like what her and Cassie did? When she starts talking about her soul basically feels broken. Yeah, her soul was broken. It was depleted. Okay? It was absolutely depleted, I'm sure. Reggie says, Satan told Jesus, just bow down to me and I'll make you the king of this world. See what it looks like. Like y'all still want it. Right. And that's what Diddy was doing. Diddy was the devil. Okay, he came and offered her and promised her things. I'm going to give you money. I'm going to pay your mortgage. I'll get you this house. I'll buy you new furniture. I'll take care of you. If you need a daycare provider, if you need childcare, so you can come and hang out with me and we can travel and we can go to different places. I'll take care of all of that. I'll provide you what you need. Sign this contract. It's called a love contract. That's literally what he gave her, a love contract. She literally signed a deal with the devil, and that devil's name is Diddy. Okay? Reggie said Shakur bursting and S Magic and his nefarious back tattoo. Yes. And here's the thing. I don't know if anyone thought about this, but the fact that he wanted those men, those S workers, bodily fluids, wanted that put on these women, her and Cassie, and then wanted them to bring it and put it on him. I find that to be absolutely egregious. And in fact, that sounds like some S magic. Okay? That's what that sounds like. That sounds like some S magic. Don't you think so? I mean, just all crazy. And I heard a strange story about his mother, too. I heard something really strange. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Now, so here's the thing. There was a story. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but there was a story about Diddy's mom's macaroni and cheese. Have y'all heard about that? Have y'all heard about that? Once in the chat. Did you once in the chat, if you all heard about, yes, energy harvesting is real, Danila. Now listen, have you all heard about Diddy's mother's macaroni and cheese? Okay, so let's talk about it now. I can't confirm this, but here's what I heard. So it gained popularity after a viral video showed Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, adding a surprising ingredient to her macaroni and cheese. In the video, Janice Combs adds a generous amount of sugar to the mac and cheese, which many viewers found unconventional because who puts sugar in macaroni and cheese? I'm sorry, please make it all make sense. Now, the clip sparked widespread discussion and amusement online, with people sharing their own reactions and thoughts on the unexpected ingredient. While some viewers were taken aback by the addition, others defended the choice, suggesting that it might be a family tradition or a personal twist on a classic recipe. Regardless of opinions, the video highlighted the diverse ways people prepare their macaroni and cheese. Now, but that's not what I'm talking about, though. I'm not talking about the sugar that she allegedly put in there, because people started saying that there was something else put in that macaroni and cheese. Now they came out and said that was debunked, and maybe it was. I hope it was, because what they claimed that she put that macaroni and cheese was absolutely nefarious. Okay, I just want you all to pay attention. Hold on, let me see if I can find a TikTok about it. Hold on, honey. I'm gonna go to this video. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen and let you all see this TikTok, because I saw another TikTok about this yesterday. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I hope that's not true. And how did these people find out? That's why I'm inclined to believe that it's possibly just a rumor.
Thought the damn Diddy case could not get any more disgusting, demonic, just foul. It got to a whole new level. It got way below the belt. So apparently, allegedly, they say Diddy's mom, Janice Combs, had some uniquely disturbing recipes. This is why you can't eat everybody cooking, okay? Especially if you don't see what they putting in the shit to make it up. Cassie said in her testimony. Now this just recently came out, okay? Cassie said that Janice Combs, Diddy's mom, had a jar of Diddy's semen. Yeah. That she kept in the refrigerator. Now, y'all do know, now I know this because, you know, just when you're freezing eggs and stuff like that, when you're infertile, if you have to go another route to become pregnant or whatever, you can freeze the semen in the egg or put it in the refrigerator and it keeps it, you know.
Okay, now you all heard that. Now I'm going to stop him right there. Because first and foremost, I listened to Cassie's testimony and I didn't hear Cassie say any such thing. Okay? I didn't hear Cassie say any such thing. Now, I don't know where they got that from. I absolutely hope that isn't true, but Cassie didn't say that on the stand. Mama Joyce said, what? Excuse me, sir? Okay. Jeff ATS said, I know the ninja in that video would eat it. Oh my goodness. I mean, that is called spirit cooking if you do stuff like that. But I never heard Cassie say anything like that. Let me just look it up, honey, because did I miss this during the testimony? Because I know this can't be true. Hold on, beloveds. See, this is what I'm telling you. Based on available information, the claim that Cassie Ventura accused Diddy's mother of putting bodily fluids in the mac and cheese is a rumor and not supported by the provided search results. Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear Cassie say anything about that. All right. Now, first of all, where you see how people just make up stuff? Okay, because I saw a video of somebody saying that yesterday. Now, this person didn't say that Cassie testified to it, or I would have immediately known that was a lie. But is that where they got that from? They're trying to say Cassie testified. No, I never heard Cassie say that on the stand. Okay, people just out here making up stuff. All right, Kay Wood said ghetto gossip at its finest. I mean, it's the lies of it all for me. Not that they're going to blame it on poor Cassie. Oh my goodness. DJ Big Six said clout chasing. Clearly. Okay, who makes this stuff up? But anyway, listen, I'm about to be out of here, you guys. Y'all know I'm tired. I have been in court all day. I literally got up at 4 o'clock this morning. Okay. I just want you all to pay attention. And at the end of the day, I need to get some sleep because I have to get up and do it all over again tomorrow. All right. So you all make sure you tune in the morning because I'll be reporting live from court. And then I'll sneak out and, go live again, like I told you guys. So I love you all to life. This case is getting real crazy. Okay, it is getting more and more crazy. I'm just waiting for it all to be over. I want to see how this all turns out. I want to see if Diddy is going to, Tyler G said, hydrate, Queen, and rest up electrolytes. Thank you, beloved. I sure will. Thank you. Okay. Reggie said, great broadcast, Queen. You thank you so much. Thank you, beloved. Listen, I love you all. DeCarlo said, they say don't eat everyone's spaghetti. Hint, hint. I know that's right, DeCarlo. I'm with you on that, beloved. Okay? I'm with you on that, especially you all men. They tell these men specifically not to be eating everybody's spaghetti because y'all know how some people get down. It's called spirit cooking. Okay? So listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this night. And, we're going to see what happens tomorrow on cross-exam for Miss Jane Doe. I'm very interested to see how this is all going to pan out. Okay? Danella said, the Queen got her boots on the ground. Thank you. Well, thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Mama Joyce said cross-exam will be brutal. Hope Jane is ready. Listen, I don't think they're going to go too hard on her, but my question is, who is going to do the cross-examination? Now, we had Miss Nicole Westmoreland the other day, so I'm wondering if it's going to be Tini Garagos with Miss Jane Doe or Estavio or Shapiro. I don't know, but I can't wait to see. I'm very interested to find out how this is going to go. Okay. The lovely T said, excellent broadcast, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Nanny said, yes, we all love the feedback you bring, Queen. Being in the Big Apple. Gratitude. Thank you, beloved. Okay. So listen, I love you all to life. Reggie said, do you know the Jane Doe Queen? Yes, I do, but my lips are sealed. My lips are sealed. We have been warned not to speak anything of it or about this woman. Okay. So listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this night. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Gigi said Westmoreland is going to drag her. Westmoreland is a firecracker with her little bitty self. She's so little. She's about 5'2". But I want you all to pay attention. She was carrying that YSL trial on her back. Okay. Her and Brian Steele. But she really is good at what she does. She absolutely is. So anyway, listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all get some rest tonight. I'm going to get me some too. And I will see you all tomorrow, bright and early. Okay. Until then, beloveds, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. And again, thank you all for the contributions to the Cash App. And for those of you who send super chats, that really helps me because like I told you guys, New York is so expensive and I'm trying to stay here until this whole thing is over. So I appreciate everything that you all send. Okay. So until next time, beloveds, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the Queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and